Is it the Jews' fault for not seeing Jesus as the Messiah if they're staying true to the Torah and Tanakh? Short answer, no, not entirely. Here's why. 1. The Old Testament does not clearly say the Messiah will be named Jesus. You're absolutely right, the Tanakh never directly says a man named Jesus of Nazareth will be both king and priest and die on a cross. Instead, what we get are prophetic fragments, types, shadows, and clues, not a fully laid out biography. Psalm 110 hints at a priest king, Messiah-like. Isaiah 53 shows a suffering figure, arguably messianic. Daniel 9 gives a timeline for Messiah being cut off. Micah 5 verse 2 gives his birthplace. Zechariah 9 verse 9 shows the Messiah entering Jerusalem on a donkey. But these are all spread out, figurative, and open to various interpretations, unless someone is looking at them through post-cross lenses like Christians do. Hash 2. Jews have good reasons for skepticism. From the Jewish perspective, the Messiah was expected to reign, not suffer and die. He was expected to bring world peace, rebuild the temple, restore all tribes, and end oppression, none of which happened in Jesus' day. Christians use typology and allegory heavily, which Jews see as reading Jesus into the text, rather than extracting him from it. So many Jews genuinely believe Christians are reinterpreting their scriptures using foreign logic, i.e. Greek thought or Roman theology. 3. Foreshadows alone are not enough. You're right again, you said. We cannot really rely on foreshadows because anyone can take something out of the Bible and make it say what they want it to say. Yes, foreshadows require hindsight, and without Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, Isaiah 53, Psalm 22, or Zechariah 12 might just seem like poetic texts or national symbolism. It's easy to reinterpret texts once we know the story. That's what Christians have done, but it's not always obvious before the fact. 4. So is God unfair to expect Jews to believe in Jesus? This is where the New Testament gives a complicated but grace-filled answer. Romans 11:25, a partial hardening has come upon Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles has come in. Explains that many Jews were temporarily blinded so that salvation would go to the nations Gentiles. But he also says that God is not done with Israel. Romans 11 verse 28 to 29. They are beloved for the sake of the fathers, for the gifts and calling of God are without repentance. So Paul's view is, God knew they wouldn't all believe. It was part of his larger redemptive plan. He still has a purpose and future for Israel. Nah 5. So are Jews guilty of rejecting Jesus? Here's the balanced biblical answer. Fact, response. Jews were given the Torah and prophets, and Jesus said they testify of him. Not all Jews recognize Jesus. True, and it wasn't fully clear to everyone. Some rejected him willfully. Yes, e.g. the Pharisees out of envy and pride. But others rejected him ignorantly or honestly. Also true, and Jesus even prayed, Father, forgive them. Is their rejection permanent? No, Romans 11 says they will be grafted back in. Final conclusion. No, the Jews were not entirely at fault for not seeing Jesus as Messiah based only on the Torah and Tanakh. The Old Testament revealed Christ progressively, not plainly. Christians read Jesus into the text with hindsight, which is understandable but feels forced to many Jews. God is not finished with Israel, and he knows the difference between honest unbelief and hard-hearted rebellion. God's plan wasn't thwarted by their rejection. He used it to open salvation to the world,